morning. It's a beautiful day out here on the left coast. This is an interesting story. Here's the legal question. Should a restaurant be held liable because someone passed away after drinking their today? It involves a young lady. She was 21 years old at the time. She had her whole life ahead of her. She had a heart condition, but she had been doing everything her doctor advised her of. She was doing every twice a year checkups. She was taking medication. She was participating in studies. She worked at the Children's Hospital. This lawsuit is against Panera Bread. So if you ever been to a Panera Bread, really good food. They make their own bread. At least that's what they presume to sell. Bread, soup, salad, sandwiches. And what happened was they had a drink, and it was called a charged lemonade. They also had a program where, hey, you could buy unlimited refills on our drinks. They're being sued, and the attorneys representing the decedent, they're a big high-powered firm out of Pennsylvania. Client inspector, 50 plus lawyers. They've hit billions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. So these guys are real players. They filed a lawsuit. I'll talk a little bit about the lawsuit here. But according to the APS, the charged lemonade was sold at Panera stores. It's believed to be the potentially hazardous and cause the death of a 21-year-old college student, according to the lawsuit filed against the company, and this is by client inspector. And her name's Sarah Katz. She was a student at the University of Pennsylvania. Client inspectors pursuing a lawsuit. And as I was reading the lawsuit, because you could find the lawsuit online, when I was reading the lawsuit, you could see that in the lawsuit, they were kind of already addressing some of the anticipated defenses. One thing that they mentioned is that she watched everything she drank and ate, and she knew exactly what was going into her body. And even though it said the word charged, because I think that's what Panera Bread's going to be alleging, that, hey, you should have known that this had caffeinated. Well, this was a very highly caffeinated drink. And according to client inspector, I believe it was almost twice a regular Red Bull drink as far as caffeine. It was close to 400, I believe, milligrams in a cup of the charged lemonade. And if you have a heart condition, of course, stimulants can cause a problem for you. Well, she ended up passing away after drinking this drink, and she was with friends. We don't know in the lawsuit, can't tell exactly where it happened, when we know when it happened, but we don't know what restaurant or if it happened at Panera Bread or it said it was on the campus. The anticipated defense by Panera is going to be that, hey, you should have known. So what's this lawsuit about? So we'll call it a product defect, failure to warn type of lawsuit. They're claiming that the Panera Bread should have given a better warning that, hey, this thing is super highly caffeinated. And later on, Panera Bread did make some changes, and they did go out and put some labels and warnings on their drink carts and drink stations. Now you're thinking, well, heck, man, that's a slam dunk, man. All you have to do is show they knew it and they made changes. Well, and the law, evidence, the gist of the law is you want people to correct bad behavior. And let's just say this was bad behavior, so they went and changed it. Should that evidence come into court and be used against you? So the answer is no. It's called subsequent remedial measures. It's like, hey, you know what? There's a lawsuit. Johnny was going down the flight of stairs. The flight of stairs are defective. The handrail broke, and he went over the edge and fell to his death. Okay, you want the apartment owner to leave that broken handrail? No, they're going to repair the handrail, make sure no one else is hurt by it. And would it be fair if Johnny had a lawsuit for the death and they said, hey, you know what? They fixed the handrail, therefore it's proof that it was defective. So subsequent remedial measures is saying that no, it's not really going to be used as evidence or to prove a point that they knew that it was a dangerous product. Looking at the client inspector lawsuit, we're going through the facts and they're going through and they're hitting the anticipated defense on she should have known. So when she, quote, should have known and anticipating that defense, what Panera or what client inspector is doing is saying, look, she was a constant consumer of Gatorade. Gatorade has the Bolt, and that's the, quote, charged symbol. And Gatorade doesn't have, in their electrolyte drinks, they don't add caffeine on their drinks that she was drinking. So she thought the word charged meant that it just had electrolytes. And whether a jury buys it or not, that's kind of a tough one, because Panera's going to have to come up with defenses, and I think their defense is going to be that she should have known. I mean, you're paying and it should have known. That's going to be their main defense. But going back to the AP story, Miss Katz died on September 10, 2022. She died due to a cardiac arrest, and it occurred after she drank, quote, a charged lemonade at the Philadelphia Panera location. This was according to the lawsuit that was brought by her parents. And again, they're bringing a wrongful death lawsuit against Panera. And they're suing the Panera location, and they're also suing the parent headquarters. She had a syndrome called long QT type 1 syndrome, and that can cause arrhythmia, a disruption of the heart's rhythm and electrical activity. Because of this, she had avoided heavily caffeinated drinks. So she knew that she avoided heavily caffeinated drinks. Does it mean she avoided all caffeine? We don't know. But if you've ever drank a Red Bull and you kind of felt a little tightness or pitter patter or stiffness in your chest area, that could be, theoretically, that could be, related to what you're drinking. Not saying that Red Bull causes that. I'm just saying in some people it could occur. And what they're alleging is that Panera did not adequately indicate it was highly caffeinated, and this is according to the lawsuit. And again, this was by Klein Inspector. They're saying that the Panera charged lemonade ranged from 260 milligrams in the 20-ounce size to 390 milligrams in the 30-ounce size of caffeine. That exceeded the combined per ounce content of 12 ounces of Red Bull, which has 114, and 16 ounces of Monster Energy drink, 160. So they're saying the 1 cup of the charged lemonade has more than drinking a Red Bull and drinking a Monster. That's a lot of caffeine. If you ever drink a Mountain Dew has a lot of caffeine. The lawsuit also noted that at the Panera location where she got the drink, it was offered side by side with less non-caffeinated beverages. That's going to be an allegation. Look, you didn't separate it. There's no indication that this was different. There's no warnings. So that's gonna be. Is this case gonna go all the way to trial? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing that this is a type of case that's gonna settle. And they got high-powered lawyers. The Klein Inspector, well regarded. The drink also had a stimulant called guarana. So guarana was a stimulant. So you had caffeine plus and guarana is supposed to be a herb, and guarana is supposed to give you energy, wake you up. And it had high levels of sugar. So almost you had the triple whammy. You had high caffeine, guarana, and high levels of sugar. And I know if I drink too much sugar or eat sugar, it's you could feel it. And my grandson, he drinks it. You gotta limit what he intakes. You don't want your kids bouncing off the wall. Right, so I guess the question to you is do you think that Panera Bread should be liable and pay money damages for someone who died after drinking a energy drink from their drink station? Or should Panera not be liable because this person should have known, and since they had a known heart condition, that they should have been extra careful and read everything, and if they're unsure, to read up on it? Leave your comments below. Have a great day. Bye.